Welcome back to the podcast. Before we forget, where I'm Duran,
And I'm Mike.
and we like to keep it short and sweet. So, Mike, you had another question for me.
I do. So
What's that?
let's set it up real quick. We are going through political campaigns like crazy. And all I see is them trash talking each other to a different level of disrespect.
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like there should be limits on freedom of speech and what people could say?
I mean, I want to say no, but it's a conditional thing because we limit what we feel like is offensive, but then we say it's freedom of speech. So we already contradicting ourselves before we even get to the actual premise of the question. So saying should we limit something is already contradicting free, because if it's limited, it's not free.
Right. And I 100% agree with you. I don't think freedom of speech should be limited at all.
I say,
But
after we got out of middle school, everybody got real sensitive.
I wouldn't even say sensitive, but here's what I will say. I think people need to understand that being behind screens don't protect you.
Of course it don't. Then you don't get that fear. That's a different podcast.
Here's the thing. I feel like when we talk about freedom of speech nowadays, people sit behind a computer screen or they can get on the TV screen and they can say whatever they want about whoever they want and feel just fine because they feel like they're never going to see that person in real life. And that's what we're seeing in politics.
Have you ever seen a Halo 3 or Call of Duty lobby? Have you ever just lived to the point to where the game literally had to put a disclaimer in it that you got to accept it before you play? So if you insult somebody and they report you for that, it's on and popping.
Right.
It's on and popping because it was just that bad.
Man,
and people still do it. That's the crazy
people
part.
Still do it.
I mean, I jumped into a lobby and this is like 32 people in here and it's cussing going back. I would never see this person, at least so they think, ever in their life.
Here's my thing. My MetaQuest, right? I get in virtual VR. I'm talking to people. You this or that, you da 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 da. Oh, really? All I got to do is hit menu. I found you. Look at your Facebook profile. Let's go see where this guy lives. Oh, you live in Kansas City with me. How hard do you think it is to find you? Like, there's so much information out here on people, on how to find people, but they get so comfortable thinking that they can hide behind this screen and say whatever they want. And it bewilders me how many people think that they are tougher than they really are. Because if I was sitting in front of you, if I was sitting across from you like we are now, right? Would you call me out my name the way you would on a computer screen or on a TV screen in front of a camera when I'm not physically present there? No. So if you ain't got the balls to sit in front of me, why would you feel like, oh, and then when people call them out on it, oh, I have freedom of speech. I can say what you want. Yeah. And I got freedom to these hands. And you can have a visit from them anytime I want.
That's the thing is freedom of speech, man. You got keyboard warriors and trolls and people that sit behind computer desks and do that same exact thing that you mentioned. The problem is, like I said, people just got soft. If somebody say something, you got a right to say something back. Defend yourself. And now we pick and choose when you can defend yourself and when you can say something. Freedom of speech goes into police brutality. It goes into politics. It goes in everyday politics like life. I'm for reference purposes. We got politics, policing, gaming, and then just everyday shenanigans. Back and forth. So we can't just limit something just because somebody complained about it. If it's freedom of speech, let it be freedom of speech. We'd be so quick to cancel somebody, and I think cancel culture in itself is toxic.
I don't believe in that. But I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't think you can cancel something or somebody.
I didn't look at you like that for that. I don't think you could neither. But I'm just saying that's where this stuff is coming from. It forms from that feeling that you can say what you want to say, and then you can hide, run away. So you could throw stones and run away.
Yeah. Now, here's what I will say. I wish we could make an amendment to the amendment of freedom of speech.
And change it to what?
No, I want to keep that part, but I want to make an amendment that says, but you can be challenged to fisticuffs. So you could say whatever you want, but at any point, if you disrespect somebody, they can challenge you to fight. And if you decline, you can't say nothing else about that person again, or they have a right to knock your ass out. And if you accept, then you got to back up those words. And then at that point, hey, you can't do nothing. Well, if they talk shit on you and you got your ass whooped by them, now you better sit in the corner and go and let them.
Well,
you better just let them talk.
That's how it used to be. You used to walk up to somebody, slap, challenge you to a duel.
I don't think that was ever really a thing.
Pull the glove out and slap some. Yeah, it was.
I think that was just in the movies or the TV shows.
And then they had it where
when and where were they taking off a glove? Smack! I challenge you to fisticuffs.
You had a showdown in the Wild West. And then at the time when fisticuffs, probably around when boxing became a thing, they probably did that. And then you had it when kings and queens are still popular. People would pull up and be like, "Oh, you want this lady? Are you disrespecting the people? We pulling the jammies out and it's going down at dawn, and you getting shot at. If you don't make it, it's over. You get shot. Oh well. If you survive, toodles to you, Sir Patrick.
Hey, imagine that being today. Like, imagine our presidential candidacy. The final part of becoming the president is a fisticuffs duel. Y'all done had all y'all debates. Everybody done voted. Are you happy with the votes? No? You can smack him and challenge him to fisticuffs. And if they lose, guess what? New president.
That's crazy because right then and there, who's about what? And since our presidents always want to run when they like 70, 80, that's not even a fist fight.
That's what I'm thinking about 2020, Donald Trump and Joe Biden.
Yo, imagine right now, Donald Trump and Kamala, like that's just crazy because then it's
she'll put them hands on him.
Do you pick sides and be like, oh no, you can't punch a woman? Nah, we excluding that. Right now it's all legal.
You be telling her you can't punch the elderly. Hey, she's like 50.
No, he said he's in good physical condition. He's passed multiple cognitive tests. Run them hands, my boy.
He did get shot and survived. Mm-hmm. He's pretty much 50 Cent out here.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta run them hands.
As a matter of fact, he was walking out to 50 Cent.
Look, the crazy part is, I feel like she'd put hands on him too.
Let's be serious though. If Donald Trump had to answer for all of the crap he done talked on people, Donald Trump wouldn't be here. That man would have got his ass whooped so many times. The five from New York, they would have got out and be like, you put an $85,000 ad out on us? We challenge you to fisticuffs right now. As soon as he done, it's me. Donald Trump would not, that boy would be the biggest peacemaker in the world. I found out that my ways are bad. Love, peace, happiness. Trump.
I'm just saying, hands solve a lot of problems.
I really think so. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, we don't need guns. We don't need none of that. When people talk crap, put them in a boxing ring. I don't put them in a UFC cage, boxing ring. I don't care. Let them go at it. And if they don't go at it, look, it's documented. You got one time to say my name and decline fisticuffs.
Look, you got to be like how Beyblade used to pop up the arenas when you was a kid. Somebody say something like, oh, and all of a sudden people just grab a fence out of nowhere and y'all get fenced up in a little cage.
It's like Pokemon. You be walking through the grass. Hey, you, I want to fight. Me?
I'd be pissed off.
Oh, man. I keep seeing more and more, especially with these presidential ads, man. And it's crazy. And it's not even like the presidents. Like I've seen some stuff about, Donald Trump does this or Joe Biden does this when Joe was running. Now it's Kamala Harris believes this or does this. And, if we're talking about beliefs or whatever, that's one thing. But I saw one so disrespectful and was like, this man is shipping immigrants to Missouri, and that's not who you want. Whoa, what? If you want a safe Missouri and a safe border, what border is in Missouri?
I don't know. The water?
Like, legit, what border is in Missouri that they're so worried about protecting the border here?
I don't think we have that problem. I wouldn't even call it a problem. You don't see that here. I feel like Kansas as a whole is a passing state. People pass through here to get to other places. If you stay, you stay. If not, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's just gotten out of hand, and I feel like even when we look at cyberbullying, we look at a lot of different stuff. If people were held accountable for the words that came out of their mouth in a physical way, a lot more people would shut up.
They would, but nevertheless, it's always a way to be toxic or a way for you to get around it. Freedom of speech is freedom of speech for a reason. I think freedom of speech was really created so that we can hear everybody's side of the story to get a full scope. Because you had a group of people in the room, everybody's trying to pass a bill, or everybody's trying to get their point across, or they're speaking on one thing particularly. And so, in order for everybody to be heard, we had to get the freedom of speech. Because if I have more reputation, or I'm a more reputable person than you, then automatically I can overtalk you.
Right, but I'm not trying to take away that either.
No, I know you're not. I'm saying that for the listeners.
Oh, okay. I want people to be able to have that freedom of speech and say what needs to be said and defend themselves or defend others if they feel like others are being bullied or need to be defended.
So Michael really just wanted to punch somebody, and
but I also feel like
an excuse to punch an innocent person.
I also feel like they're not innocent though. That's the thing. I also feel like if you being defended or if you being bullied or offended, and you don't have the heart to challenge them to fisticuffs, I should be able to come up and be like, man, chill out.
So if you make him throw his ice cream on the ground, he gonna put his hands.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
He gonna put his hands on you.
Do that.
I want y'all to understand. If you come and provoke him, and then he throw his ice cream down and prepare the fisticuffs, and you don't engage the fisticuffs, you gonna get the hands anyway.
It's any food item.
So
I done threw down pickles. I done threw down. There was one time we was walking. This gonna piss people off. We had some sardines.
That's the you thing. There's
chips. There's all of that. But if I get upset to the point where I threw my food down, yeah, it was over. I've come a long way.
Have you though?
Yeah, because I got kids and I can't go to jail. But if they just brought back fisticuffs, then I mean, I think everything will be just perfect in this world. And on that note, y'all let us know what y'all think. Should people be able to exercise their right to freedom of speech? And
should it have limits?
Should it have limits? Yeah. And should we bring back fisticuffs? Let's just throw that part in there too. Right. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.